Robbie Gordon has crashed. We're under caution, Matt.
And the pit stop service is already complete for the 2. Kurt Busch, slight chassis adjustment, 2 tires to call by Pat Tryson.
2 tires also for Kyle Busch. Kyle said, see it from my position. I haven't passed anyone today. Give me 2, Dick.
It has been 97 starts since Mark Martin has won a Sprint Cup race. They have chosen to go with 4 tires in hopes they could win tonight. They knew that several teams were going to go with 2. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson said that's not a good idea. They've gone with 4.
As did Tony Stewart, who was the 3rd place car.
I'm just a little bit worried about keep losing this track position, though. We're over halfway through this race. You can't keep restarting 25-30. And let's look at why the caution came out, because see what you can see here, guys.
Yeah, watch the 55 of Michael Waltrip. See if he gets loose on the bottom. And there he goes, just a bit loose there in the middle of the corner. And when he corrects.
Yeah, he just shoots right up into Robbie Gordon.
Robbie's in the wrong spot.
You could see his wheels turning back to the right.
You could see it real well there.
Right in front of Jeff Gordon, though, in that 24.
This is watching from Waltrip.
Inside. Hang in there if you can. Coming inside. Clear there. Clear there.
And from Kevin Harvick.
Boy, Jeff Gordon does an amazing job.
Go low. Stay in it. Stay in it. Out.
We're under caution once again in Phoenix, and the leader is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
The Subway Fresh Fit 500 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Moving forward. By AT&T, your world delivered. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, let's fill it.
Ready for the restart. The first 5 cars did not pit under that caution. The first one that did is Kurt Busch in 6th as you look at Fox Tracks. So that puts Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front of Marcus Ambrose, Jeff Gordon, David Stremme, and Bobby Labonte.
And I don't think that was bad strategy, because those 5 cars were just on pit road about 10 laps before that. But I think we can get an answer on our leader from Dick Berggren. Yeah, we can. I'm going to ask Tony Eury Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew chief, why did you not pit?
Well, we pitted like 10 laps earlier, you know, just we got to get off sequence. We got to get the track position somehow. We had a bad pit stop, and the car's just been really off. So we got the car halfway dialed in. We got to do something to get track position. So we went and got off sequence. So right now we're just hoping to get maybe a 20 or 25 lap run, get back on sequence with the leaders, and hopefully we can lead this thing.
Well, when you're behind, you got to try stuff, and that's just what Junior's pit is doing.
That's a pretty bold gamble. So far, so good. Now here are the best of the 2 drivers who pitted. And they have been the 2 at the front all night long. Kurt Busch in the 2 and Mark Martin in the 5.
Yeah, buddy, I'll tell you right now, this is a bunch of cars wadded up back in here. They've been knocking the fire out of each other, too.
Well, they've got some lap cars to deal with. And Jeff Burton.
Watch this right here. This is all going down into turn 1. Look at this wad of cars right here. You got Kurt out there on the outside, and the 96 just runs him all the way up the hill. He loses a lot of track position right there, but man, that thing comes off the corner and he gets it right back.
Nice move there by Jeff Burton in the 31.
And just remember, Kurt Busch in that 2 car, his crew chief Pat Tryson went with just 2 tires on that last caution on their pit stop, changed just the right sides only.
Well, they may need to change him again, Larry, because he just bit the wall.
Tell you, when you get back in that kind of traffic like they're in right now, anything can happen. Oh, this not looking. No, that's not good.
He actually hit that wall pretty hard.
That hurt that baby.
And that was the concrete right there, not the safer barrier. Matt, what are they saying about damage control?
The driver just reported in. Tire is rubbing. I see smoke. Well, I don't see a lot of smoke. You might be getting a haze up inside the car.
Just a small wisp of tire smoke just right in the center of 1 and 2. That was it.
That's all you're getting. A little whisper.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I think they can ride it out.
5 cautions so far as we watch Kurt Busch. Boy, Robbie Gordon was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Steve Burns is with him.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, Mike. Victim of circumstances, Robbie, but your team working very hard. Can you get back in the race?
Yeah, it's a huge bummer. I don't know. Probably should have came for tires there. You know, we were running 18th, and I don't know what Michael was doing, but he just ran us over.
Can you get back in the race?
Yeah, you know, getting back in the race is one thing, but to give up this many points again another weekend in a row, it's just it's devastation. And you know, our speedway car is not that fast, so I'm really concerned about that. But looking forward to having a new driver in the 55 next year.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And what he means by the point situation is each week the top 35 in owner points, they're locked into the show, and he's on the verge of falling outside the top 35.
He will fall to 35th this week, Larry, but he should still have that exemption from having to qualify on time, at least for next week. Here comes Kyle Busch. Krista.
Well, Mike, like I said, they took 2 tires only, but it wasn't really a great stop for the 18. Kyle asked, why did the jack man, that would be Jeff Bender, wait so long to drop the jack? So they looked at the tape, they analyzed it, they know it was not one of their better stops. It was a 2-tire stop and track bar adjustment. Kyle said his car is still just a little bit too tight.
Hey, once again, just watching Jeff Gordon work by Marcos Ambrose there. I mean, he's sitting up here in the top 5 right now, and boys, he had a great run this year so far.
In that 47
in the
car.
47
They
car
get a lot of their bad luck behind them. I mean, they're solid week in and week out.
He is one of our Toyota top performers at this stage in the race. Marcus Ambrose in 4th. Brian Vickers in 10th. Ambrose has an interesting hobby there in rural North Carolina, panning for gold. John Reed made America's first gold discovery at a mine outside Charlotte 150 years ago. There's still some gold in them there hills.
And he's doing it on Greg Biffle's land. Greg, I guess, is digging a lake, and he's going through the dirt that Greg Biffle is digging out for this lake.
Well, he hopes to strike gold here as well.
I'm telling you, there's some desperation going on right now, guys. I'll tell you, if you get wounded a little bit like Kurt Busch is, the vultures will jump all over you. You should have seen what Tony Stewart just did to the 2 car going down into turn 1. Watch this, Mike, Larry. Racing with Jeff Burton in the 31. Here's Tony in the 14. They kind of leave a little gap right there.
Wow.
And he just shoots the gap.
That's not the first time that Tony Stewart has threaded the needle tonight.
Everybody knows that the sand's about out of the hourglass, boys. Got to go.
Yeah, I mean, we're down to about 130 laps to go.
Now, Jeff Burton is also a part of that battle. Matt?
And Mike, Scott Miller's crew chief, said the car was pretty consistent in the earlier portion of this race. They went 2 tires. Reason, they saw what some of the other competitors did and also opted for some track position, knowing it really didn't cost them a lot. But right now, Burton's just trying to hold on as an 83 of Vickers going on the inside.
You know, we sat down and talked to Jeff Burton, the 3 of us did, and, you know, he told me, we know that we're a little bit off. And it's not going to be an overnight fix, but the good thing is we're acknowledging it and we're working hard to get there.
Time for another question from Ask.com, official search engine of NASCAR. What is the Phoenix? No, not Pontiac's first front-wheel drive compact that came out about 1980. The mythical Phoenix, the one that this city is named for? You can find out now at Ask.com and enter the Ask.com NASCAR Challenge for a chance to win daily prizes or a trip to Talladega.
You know, I think that's one I'm going to go to Ask.com and find out. I'd be curious to know.
I would go to Ask.com and say, why does the car out front always seem to run off and leave everybody? But I actually think I know the answer to that one.
Okay.
And that car right now would be Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 car.
Or the car that was hung up back in 30-something place, pulling away from the field.
About to go a lap down.
What are they saying, Dick?
Well, all the changes that they made to Earnhardt's car have finally brought exactly what they were looking for. Speed, and the fact that he is at the front of the pack, he's got clean air. Earnhardt says that he's got tire chatter at both ends of the racetrack, and the crew came back and told him his lap times are better than anybody, and off he went. There's that salesman again. Got to sell them. You may not like what you got, but you're better than everybody else.
All I know is you're pulling away from the field pretty sportily right now.
They're getting smaller behind you.
Imagine. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a 4-second lead on Kyle Busch. Can it last?
You watch NASCAR